Hello, lovely people. That song is called Unto Zion, and I do believe that it is available online on YouTube if you are interested. God and Goddess, thank you so much for this beautiful day and all the blessings that you have given us. Thank you so much for the deer that I got to feed earlier and for the male deer being courageous enough to come over as well. Thank you so much for all of the blessings and giving us hope and love in times of trouble and trial. Please continue to help us uplift us and help show us the way to make this world a garden paradise once more. In the name of Elohim, I pray. Amen. Today is, oops, gone the wrong way. Mother Earth Day, and the prayer is, our God and Goddess, immanent and transcendent, send to all your angel of peace. To the kingdom of the earthly mother, send your angel of joy. Hopefully you can get outside and enjoy some lovely weather today. It's really nice here. And I'm excited because I finally got the Wheel of Days calendar and will be able to show you in the future the reason that Sabbath is on Friday and how the Nazarenes actually laid out their calendar and saw time, essentially. But for today, I wanted to read from the Holy Megillah, the Nazarene Bible of the Essene Way, translated by Day of Greenleaf and available at essene.org, from chapter 103 of the Holy God Spell, which is actually not available in that PDF version. But when the final Megillah is done, there's going to be an official PDF that has all of it in there that will be available on their website for free. So, anyways, this scroll is called the Scroll of Wizardess Aura, who is Yeshua's cousin, and her name actually means feminine light and illumination. This is really cool fact. This is from verse 5, and they are, here goes Nagoa's definition of the word oracle, because it's going to be relevant in the intuitive arts teaching that I'm going to lead into. This quote is coming from a scroll that's the previous scroll before this one, titled Isparkla, and the word itself means a divine announcement. An oracle is a person, place, or thing that gives divine messages. In the case of a person, anyone might give you a divine message, but a person known as an oracle is a divine prophet or a gifted psychic or a spiritual intuitive that is known to have special oracular gifts. Not everyone in those categories, a divine prophet, gifted psychic, or spiritual intuitive, is also an oracle. They may be gifted and helpful, but are only also an oracle if they are a source of divine messages. I said that an oracle can be a person, place, or thing. Some examples of a place would be a sacred forest or a holy mount or a wishing well where there is a known history of revelatory messages from the divine. Of the list of the 3 varieties of oracles, person, place, or thing, the third category is the most common, a thing. Examples of that category include such things as crystal balls, magic mirrors, or the Kashab deck, which is the Nazarene Oracle deck, and you can read about that in the previous chapter as well. It's page 1048 for those of you that are following along in this book, and it actually goes through all of the different ins and outs of the Kashab deck, and that is actually being designed right now. So I'm super excited for that to come out. I will explain the term intuitive arts. Notice that a portion of the title to this scroll is oracles and the intuitive arts. The term oracles and an intuitive arts are not the same thing. After I explain the term intuitive arts, it will be clear that oracles are often used by intuitives, but intuitives are certainly not required to use them or limited to their use. It just so happens that persons gifted with an extra high degree of intuitive capability often employ one or more oracles in their practice of the intuitive arts. I've written a list titled 12 Teachings of Aura on the Intuitive Arts. As an entry point to our discussion of the use of oracles in the intuitive arts, I share that document below. So without further ado, 12 Teachings of Aura Christ's cousin, on the intuitive arts. 1. Intuition is an instantaneous or near instantaneous insight or perception, a strong feeling or knowingness about a person, thing, or situation that is experienced seemingly without analytical processing or intellectual consideration. I say seemingly because there may be, in fact, some incredibly rapid analytical contribution at a deep level of our being. Nevertheless, I have experienced instances of intuitive knowingness that seemed to be instantaneous insights without having to take time to think or consider. And thus, I believe that such a thing is a real phenomenon. 2. Intuition itself is a natural attribute. Each human has some amount of intuitive capability. 3. Like other human attributes, some persons are born with more or less intuitive ability. I call the level of intuitive ability that a person is born with their intuitive gift. 4. Some persons are seemingly gifted with an extraordinarily high intuitive capability, and I refer to that person as a natural intuitive. 5. Like other human attributes can be trained and enhanced, each of us can increase our personal intuitive capability. 6. To beautifully and effectively educate, train, and enhance your intuitive ability in a focused and ongoing manner is to become a diligent student of the intuitive arts. 7. To do what is listed in number 6 above and also have the best motive, the motive to help yourself and others for the cause of supernal love and spiritual evolution and holistic wellness, is to become a diligent spiritual practitioner of the intuitive arts. 8. A natural intuitive, a person born with a higher than typical natural intuitive gift that does the things listed in number 6 and 7 above, may become recognized as a master intuitive. People will come to such a one for guidance. 9. Even those persons not born with an exceptional intuitive gift can become competent practitioners of the intuitive arts. 10. The largest part of the training of anyone interested in the intuitive arts is general yoga and spiritual practice. Every truly good intuitive arts practitioner is first and foremost a good, ethical, spiritually balanced person. 11. An Essene intuitive arts practitioner will also be a dedicated, focused practitioner of Essene yoga, which is outlined in this great book. 12. Amongst the specialized training in the Essene intuitive arts is the use of oracles in a spiritualized manner that is consistent with the Essene teachings. The student will study the oracular tradition in general, study the Essene oracular tradition in particular, and wisely choose which, if any, formal oracles to employ in his or her practice. Life itself is an oracle, and there have been master intuitives that did not employ any formal oracles. That is a matter of choice. Does one or more formal oracles resonate with you to such a degree that you feel called to employ it? The above list, my friends, is not intended to be a complete course of study on the topic of the intuitive arts, but should be enough to get you thinking about key elements. I, Aura, say to you that are interested in the oracular tradition, beware. Some oracular practices are not in harmony with the Essene teachings and should never be used by a Nazarene. Some examples of oracular practices outright banned by Nazarenes include the following ones. Extispity, which is divination based on an interpretation of the guts of a sacrificed animal, is banned in the Nazarene oracular tradition. We are opposed to animal sacrifice, and we do not believe that extispity is an effective method even for those that embrace it. Hypotoscopy, for similar reasons, is banned in the Nazarene oracular tradition. It is similar to extispicy, except that instead of the guts, the practitioner makes predictions based on his interpretation of the liver of the sacrificed animal. Necromancy, the practice of divination by asking questions of souls of dead persons, cannot currently not currently in incarnation, is banned in the Nazarene oracular tradition, as is the related practice of channeling, which is similar but is not necessarily based on asking specific questions. In channeling, you give your mind over to a disembodied soul to speak or write through you. In regard to channeling, recall the teachings of the Magdalene on the unreliable and dangerous practice. As she points out, not only is it dangerous, but as evidenced by the many conflicting versions of information channeled, supposedly from famous figures such as Moses, with each channeler attributing very different words to him, it is clearly the tool of many charlatans, and I am sure some persons that may be sincere but are clearly inaccurate in their pronouncements, channeling things from their own imaginations. If you want to know what Moses, Magdalene, or Yeshua said, look their words up in the Megillah and shun those that claim to channel such great beings. There are many oracular practices that are not banned since they are not outright evil or violent, but are frowned upon by Nazarene wise ones because they purport to give yes or no answers to specific questions or make specific predictions about a recipient's future with no room for alteration by changed behavior or wise choices. Nazarenes are encouraged to embrace only oracular practices that are ethical, nonviolent, and preserve the key element of the ongoing possibility to create a positive alternative future via wise choices and appropriate behavior, rather than simply informing us that a certain thing will irrevocably happen. So there's quite a bit to unpack in there, but I really liked how, one of the things was about channeling, and any of you have been watching my channel for a while know that I used to be into that, and these teachings have definitely, and not in the way that they are describing of contacting disembodied spirits, but opening up those channels to the divine. And now I just pray. So yeah, I thought that those were really, really cool. And I love how it talks about, it's a natural attribute to be intuitive, and it's something that we can develop over time. People that are, more gifted and more or less gifted, and some of the spiritual things we have to individually work on harder than others, just like every other thing in life. We're all at different places, and we're all at different states of remembering who we are, and even digging ourselves out of the darkness and the confusion and all of these different things that we have fallen into becoming in this world, and getting our memory wiped and all of that. So hello, David D. I am currently in Oregon House, California, which is a little bit south of Chico, and enjoying this really nice weather. Hey, Zebroxy, how's it going? Hopefully you're doing well. Yeah, it's a really beautiful day here, and like I was saying in my prayer, the deer were already up here, and the male deer are a lot more skittish from what I have been around than the females, and this kind of makes sense because they're the ones that people want to kill and hang their heads on the wall, right? Not that they don't want to kill Bambi's mom too, but anyways, it was really cool because he came up here and ate out of my hands. And yeah, other than that, I'm really, really excited because I just got news about the Mother Temple church service this month, and I was asked to read again in church, and it's going to be a Thanksgiving theme type church service. And before the church service, there's going to be a Thanksgiving potluck type thing, and I'm super excited about it and really happy that I got offered to read again in church. If you're interested in watching those Zoom link services, if you go to Essene.org, in the contact part of their website, you can just reach out and say, hey, I would really like to to tune into the services, can you send me the link? And it's a Zoom link. You don't get to be shown on the camera or anything. It's all, it's all just them presenting. And yeah, you can check it out. Just put it on in the background and listen. I really enjoy actually getting to go to church. Otherwise, I would be tuning in on the Zoom links as well, because I really just appreciate getting to learn more about this stuff and be, yeah, I'm just an eager student in and of the Megillah, and I'm just excited for all the stuff that is happening. So, actually, church is going to be on November 16th. So, mark your calendars, folks. I'll be excited about it until then. Anyways, I'm going to jump off of here. I got some errands to run and things to do today, but I hope that teaching, those 12 teachings on the intuitive arts, kind of like it says, gives you some things to think about and different ways that maybe you want to start to develop those intuitive arts better, and using different oracular traditions and practices to verify what you are feeling. And then you can feel something and then have it verified by another means, and then that goes to help solidify that knowing and trusting of your intuition. And I really aspire to be a master intuitive someday. So we'll see. We'll see what the future holds for us. I will catch up with you tomorrow at noon for the peace contemplation. Until then, I hope that you have a wonderful day. May God and